Good morning. How would your life be different if you were in constant communication with your little self and your higher self talking to each other? Well, I have a unique opportunity. If you are here with us live or on the replay, you were called to work with two unique spiritual mentors on your healing journey. If you haven't met me before, my name is Kira Lani. I'm known as the Tree Gong Healer. I'm a guide to healers on their journey of mastery. I bring you into your true nature through a deeper connection with nature. And I have a very special guest for you today, Sandra Pelley. Perhaps when your little you and your higher self communicate with each other, you will awaken your spiritual warrior. The two of us, Sandra Pelley and I, will be working together to bring some incredibly deep work to you at the Empowering Extravaganza in just couple weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks. I'm
Week
like,
and a half.
my human timeline has a hard time catching up sometimes because it feels like it moves a lot faster off times. So welcome, Sandra. It's so good to be here with you again today. If you have not met Sandra before, Sandra is the author of The Spiritual How To, and she brings empowering to the people. She helps healers really step into who they truly are so that they can bring through the work that they came to bring through. And we have been having so much fun bringing you some of that here on live videos on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're here with us live or on the replay, let us know you're here. Say hello in the chat and share this out. Let your friends know we're here. You never know who could benefit from the work that we're doing here to empower your little you to step forward and rise up to communicate with the higher self and bring through the energies that empower you to awaken your spiritual warrior. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you. You know what? I want to jump in right away because I really would love to show you how effective it is to work with our little yous and our higher selves. I was literally laying in bed, all comfy, cozy, relaxing, thinking to myself, "Gee, I wonder how this time flow is going to happen with Kira today." And then she messaged me with the link for the call, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like right away!" And so I flew out of bed and got ready. So if you're much into energy, you may feel this kind of energy possibly coming from me, and you're used to the beautiful Kiralani because she's always got this calm, very much in this beautiful state of being. And my energy right now is just like all over the place. And let's do something real quick to bring the group collectively in for all the people watching the replay, all the people watching live, past, present, and future. Really step into the energy of that. So what I'd love for you to do is to imagine, first of all, we're going to involve the little you right away, is imagine that little you actually on the top of your head, and take a breath into that. Feel this beautiful slide, whatever that looks like, going down into your heart space. Again, taking a breath into that, imagine that slide. For those of you who dislike slides, then step into the energy of a swing instead. If you like the slide, we're going to go down the slide. If you like the swing, just imagine yourself swinging back and forth through your heart space. For those of you who are like slides, that little you's on the top of your head, chomping at the bit, just wants to go down that slide. So allow that, let that little you go down the slide. I feel the woohoo, wee. Take a breath into that. Feel yourself really settle into the energy of that sliding gently into your heart. If you're on your swing, just feel that beautiful, the wave of energy as you're just coasting back and forth, feeling very peaceful. You have connected with your little you. Know that with all that you are, know that you've connected with your little you. Whether you can see your little you, whether you can sense your little you, whatever's going on within yourself, you have connected with your little you. You've connected with that most intimate part of yourself who enjoys having fun. Okay, so let's bring the higher self into that now too. So closing your eyes, take a breath. Honestly, just think, I would like to connect with my higher self. Beautiful. For some of you, that may be quick and easy. You connected like that. You got a sense of where your higher self is. You may actually get a vision of what your higher self is. Mine often shows up in this beautiful buckskin attire, like a beautiful Indigenous woman, and I love that. I really tap into the energy of feeling the connection with her. And for those of you who may be having a little bit more difficulty, I'm going to breathe our way through the I am open mantra. So breathing, I am open. There's no expectations. No limitations. And I'm okay with the outcome. Again, asking to connect with my higher self. One of the things I'd like for you to notice is there's quite the difference in the energy of those two beings, okay? Those two beautiful guides. Okay, your little you is this vibrant, excited, beautiful energy that is really looking forward to experiencing fun, joyful things and wants to lead you in that direction. Your higher self, oh, I actually, before I talk about the higher self, that little you is a very intricate part of yourself. It is the one who has a lot of influence over what's happening in your belly and what's happening in your head with regards to your thoughts. The higher self energy is this beautiful existence of all that there is and tapping into the great collective of energy, of power, of the divine source, of God, whatever you want to call it. And the energy of the higher self is this beautiful, peaceful energy. My higher self shows up often in a this beautiful white outfit with wings like a fairy. She's so magical. And I wanted to just put one more thing before I ask Kira how it went for her. I want to tell you about this. And you may think that this is a kind of comical little piece of, scrapey thing. It's often used for dishes at the kitchen sink. The other day, I was in a process with in another group, and we were talking about little U's, and really, wondering about the playful of that. In fact, I don't even think we were talking about the little U's. We were talking about our goals and our paths, and we were drawn into this beautiful meditation, and we were told that we were being gifted something, and this literally popped into my head, and I had to giggle. So I knew automatically that that was my little you wanting to do something more with this. And this is a scrubby, okay? So it's something really, really simple. But for the next 30 days, my little you wants me to have this around me or aware of it for the next 30 days. And that's beautiful because when you've got a pan that's dirty and you're about to wash it, if you scrub your way through it, you're scrubbing a pathway through it. And that's what you're doing with life, with our little yous and our higher selves. We're making this incredible pathway through that. So when I giggled at this, it was my little you really showing me that we can use anything and really tune into the message by what our experience is with that item. And like I said, using just that pot as the example, and you can see where I've actually cleared a pathway of something. That's not food, that's my windowsill. Kira, how did that go for you?
Oh, beautiful. I love that Kelly popped on and said she's making mud pies as you were sharing. Um, and I had a funny experience because I was totally in it with the slide, and then you said swing, and that's what I always do is get on the swing. That's what I will always do when I pass one, unless it's full of kids. I don't like kick the kids off. Get off the swing. It's my turn. Hey. You is more tamed than that, right? But I love the slides as well. And I was remembering when I was just in Texas, I was staying with my girlfriend who has young children, and we went to the park, and my friend had told her kids that only kids could go on the play structure and adults weren't allowed. And then another parent called her out, and I told her kids, I'll go play on the play structure with you. And they were so excited. I climbed all the way to the top and went down the slide, and I went on all the things. And I ended up falling off the merry-go-round, so I got the whole experience. And just yesterday, I was with a different friend, and I was really we had gone for a hike in the wetlands, and then we were picking up her daughter from school, and we were waiting for her daughter, and I was like, "Oh, I would love to." I said, she said, "Oh, I should get out and stand." And I said, if I get out and stand, I'm going to be looking for a bush to pee behind." And she said, "Oh, there's a bathroom up there." And I had taken my shoes off, and I was like, "Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom with my bare feet because I'm letting my little you out." And I walked balance beam style up the curb so that I was safe and also activating my little you. And I really encourage all of you out there to do the little things that make your little you feel like she's still alive. I've decided that I will continue to play throughout my life, play with life, play through life, play in life, as long as I am alive, because we never stop being that little you. So I know that was a little bit of a long share. I'd love to hear from some of you out there how that was for you. What did you experience in that little brief connection with your little you? And I threw some questions in the chat while Sandra was talking. Let us know what your little you looks like. What does your higher self look like? And I also dropped Sandra's beautiful little mantra in there that I know. I'd love actually, Sandra, to hear while we're waiting for our audience to maybe share some responses to the queries. I'd love to hear a little bit more about how this mantra has changed your life.
Wow. You know what? It's one of those things that there's so many memorable moments. And I remember back in 2015 when my close friend of mine kept telling me, "Oh, you have expectations. You have expectations. Be open." And that's where the beginning of this mantra really developed, was back in 2015. And I started to say it every single day because there was something within myself that had been triggered at probably even a teenage age, where I had said something to myself along the lines of, "Man, I wish life was way simpler. I wish that I was more capable of doing things. I wish that I, liked me or something." I had triggered something as a teenager even, and that energy was still being carried forward. And I think that's really important to recognize that we often talk about those shadow moments, those darker lessons, but also too, there's things that we have said that are positive things as a child or a teenager or a young adult that come forward and really help us to move forward as well. And so I started to think about being open with no expectations every day. And then I added that no limitations and being okay with the outcome. And I was saying it on a daily basis. And then I recognized that, I think I was in a doctor's office or a dentist's office, and I saw this incredible picture on the wall with the mantra on it. And I said the mantra, and I sat there and I was saying the mantra, and I was saying the mantra, and I was like, the picture's absolutely gorgeous, and I can understand the mantra, but I'm not really getting the mantra. So then I made a choice to take a breath. So that's why when I was saying the mantra with you, and I'm going to do it again right now so you get the gist. We can literally say a mantra. I am open with no expectations, no limitations, and I'm okay with the outcome. or we can breathe our way through it. And when we breathe our way through it, we're making this incredible heart connection. And I know you asked me, how does it help me? But I really want to, when has it helped me? But I really wanted to explain the how it's helping me. Okay. So we can say mantras till our faces turn blue, but never actually connect in with them. With that breath, it changes everything. So as I said, just saying it is I'm open with no expectations, no limitations, and I'm okay with the outcome. And you're not, all you're doing is talking. We're all we ever do is just talk, talk, talk. The power is in the breath. It's when we make that connection with everything that we are. So listen to this. I am open with no expectations, no limitations, and I'm okay with the outcome.
Mm. Yeah, I really feel the grounding in when you do it that way, and, yeah, so powerful just in those few words to just ground in, and I think what happened for me with the breathing is it also showed me any shreds of resistance that were coming up for me around this. And often, and Sandra, you've shared this mantra with me before, and I think often for many of us, we think I'm open with no expectations and no limitations. And then that last piece can feel a little sticky because then we start thinking, oh, okay, but what if this and what if that? Am I really okay with whatever the outcome is? And that can bring up our fears. And I think that's one of the things for me that's so powerful about this mantra because it's very important to me that I don't make decisions from a place of fear. And that means being okay with whatever the outcome is from my decision. And then I'm able to make the decision from my heart space, from my soul awareness, rather than from the mental chatter of what's going to happen if I choose this? What's going to happen if I choose that? So
I
thank you.
wanted, I want just before we highlight Deb here because she's got a beautiful comment about her little you there. I want to just hone in on this a little bit more because if you're feeling that, oh, I'm not okay with the outcome, it is because you have an expectation on what is going to happen. You have an expectation that something is going to happen a certain way, and because you have that expectation, you're unable to have no limitation and be okay with the outcome, and that's why that being okay with the outcome is so sticky. I just want to talk a little bit more about this for a quick second is that I really recognize the power of what could happen in my life if I chose to step into and breathe my way through that I am open mantra. Because you know what? If you're looking at your life and you are in a rut or if you're struggling with life and you think about having no limitations, for some of us, that's like I can't even imagine what that might feel like, but I sure would like to experience having no limitations. I would love to experience having no fear. I would love to experience having the ability to do everything that Sandra's capable of doing, or everything that Kira's capable of doing, or everything that, and I can rattle off all kinds of names at you. But the point is that personally, first off, I'm going to tell you that you'll never be able to experience things the way I experience because I am me and you are you. However, when you step into experiencing life with no expectations, no limitations, of being okay with the outcome for yourself, you are totally limitless. And I actually remember the physical moment in 2016 when I felt my physical energy of my body shift into understanding what that being open with no expectations, no limitations, and being okay with the outcome actually meant. And from there, my life has just blossomed. Like 2016,
Mm.
August, I'm a different person. I am so different. And it's because I wanted to know what it was like in my life to have no expectations on something. Do expectations pop up? For sure. My husband's actually pointed out a moment where you have some expectations there, Sandra. And I'm like, yay, he hears me. He's listening to me. But I also was able to hone in on what my expectation was in that moment and then breathe my way through that mantra. Let's see what Deb has to say here.
Yeah. Um, Deb's comment is reminding me that in my story I shared earlier about my friend not climbing the play structure, she did swing with us. She said, "Oh, I'll swing with you." And so we all have different edges of where we feel comfortable letting our little you out. Deb says her little you loves to climb play structures with her girlfriend's kids and swing with them, dancing with music when home alone, and just having fun playing with paints and beads and teaching kids to have no specific way to create. Just listen to your inner self and play. Yes, when we can let our inner child out in the presence of children and really encourage them to stay in that presence, how beautiful is that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can feel the power of that. It really, all the things that you've said and the things that Deb has said have really helped me hone in again on the energy of hanging out with my granddaughter, because that's the living life. And I remember too, even as a parent to my own children who now are a quarter of a century old and older, but when they were young, I remember actually getting down on their level. And it doesn't matter what your abilities are, whether you're flexible, whether you're unflexible or not, get down on the level of your children or your grandchildren and see what life looks like from that level, because it's entirely different. And that's one of the things that I bring to you with the Empowering Extravaganza. Quite often, even when we're working with our little you, we're still working with our little you as us being the adult. And sometimes we actually need to take that step to actually bring ourselves down as well. Yes, I love that, Kelly. Yeah, you get down in the dirt and play. And it's rewarding. It's so rewarding to do that type of thing. We don't do enough of this as an adult. And you know what? Can you imagine if the whole world got down in the dirt and played? Oh my gosh.
Let's all
I
make
just have a
mud
beautiful
pies.
visual.
Let's have a mud pie feast. Get all that dirt in your fingers. I'm feeling that the visceral sensation right now
Tactile.
of like squishing the mud and how it feels in between your fingers, and even like I always have had a dream of getting a bunch of girlfriends together and making food facials. So it's like that visceral mud pie experience. And I thought it would be really fun if they were edible. So you could be like squish, squish, lick, rub.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I love this, Deb. Have a
I
mud
do too.
party instead of over for tea. Let's have a mud
Oh,
party and a tea party. That was another thing I did with my friends' kids when I was there. We did crafts and we had a tea party, and it was hilarious because the older daughter wanted to make the tea but not drink it, and her brother was like, "Why aren't you drinking the tea that you made?" And she was like, "Well, I don't want to," but she set everything out for everyone, and then she went and got herself some ice water. So it was very interesting to witness where sometimes the way that kids want to play is to play adult. Let me serve you tea. And what does that feel like? So yeah, how fun. Let's get in a little deeper, because I feel like um, this
yeah.
actually is a place that often I have had others judge me for the way I parent. And I think this is so important, that the time that we have with our kids playing is more important than whether our houses are clean. This was a decision I had to make when my kids were young. Do I want to spend my life cleaning my house, or do I want to spend my life doing the things that are really important to me? Yeah.
This brings up a lot of emotion for me. Thank you guys for letting me get real right now, and I'll tell you why.
Mm,
Okay. I certainly didn't expect this. So I am okay with the outcome, and it's limitless because this is a really good learning curve for you guys here. Um, What Kelly said next, I tried telling her the dishes will be there this moment, won't. My children were, I guess my son was probably 9 and my daughter was 3. And I was at work, still in the other, my old reality. And I stepped off a step ladder and I actually had gone up a step ladder to get this great big empty box. And as I was coming down, I thought I was on the bottom step, and I stepped off of that step ladder, and I wasn't on the bottom step. I was actually on the second step up. I literally dislocated my pelvis on both sides. It was instant pain. It was like I could go into this great big long tale about what it was. My pelvis is quivering as I talk about this. I've done a lot of work around this, so I am really good. But what you just said there, Kelly, is so critical. I tried telling her the dishes will be there. This moment won't. I lost years of my children's childhood because it was a full year that I was totally incapacitated. Like I was literally laying on the couch for a solid year, and my kids couldn't even run in the house because that's how much pain I was in. Was they couldn't because the vibration of their feet on the floor just sent waves of the agony and pain through myself. So this is exactly what we're talking about. Take those moments to get down in the dirt and play with your kids, because you don't know what today has, never mind tomorrow. And, I had to do a lot of healing and a lot of work around that because my daughter was 3 at the time. My son was 9. I had literally been playing hockey outside on a semi-daily, semi-weekly basis with him. We'd go out and play street hockey together. I took my kids on hikes. We went to the playground. I went on the slide. I was on the swings. My daughter and I carried her at places. She could sit on my lap at everything, all this incredible stuff. And then in January 2000, and I believe it was 2000 or 2001, that changed. And my daughter at 3 years old never was held again like that ever by
Mm,
me. And it played some really major psychological games with me. So when I stepped into this energy of all this, I can now go back and work with her little you, work with her higher self. In fact, I talk about that in my book, A Spiritual How To, about the energy of the things, the path that we're on, and the experiences that we have, and how important they all are. So thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for um, experiencing this moment with me. I really appreciate you all holding space for me here, because instead of me getting into a complete blubbering mess, I was actually able to tell you guys a little bit about why I just experienced that, and how important it really is to play with our kids and to be kids. Thank you, Kelly.
mm. Yeah, thank you, Sandra, for allowing yourself to be vulnerable in this moment. I feel like that is such an important part of being able to access our little you, is to be able to grieve the moments where we lost her and just be authentic with ourselves when things like that come up. So, yes, big hugs. Mm.
So let's breathe our way through the I am love mantra, if you don't mind, right? Real quick. So everybody just wrap your arms around yourself. Think of yourself and that little you, and just hug that little you in your lap,
Hmm.
in your arms, and breathe your way through this mantra. I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I love me.
Hmm.
So it is. Thank you.
So it is. Yay.
Own that, Kelly. Do you see what her last comment was there?
I was just looking at that. Yes, Kelly. Yes, you are a great mom. And I love that you are also taking the time to channel your great mother to take care of your inner child. And I think this is something that we, especially as mothers and women, often forget to do, to and often we have to. A lot of us are here because we had to parent ourselves. I know I had to parent myself a lot as a child, so my inner child is also a caregiver. And can we talk about that a little bit? Because I think this is a really common thing that
Please.
happens when we don't have a caregiver who is fully present for one reason or another. And many of us were raised by traumatized people and carried the trauma from our parents into our adulthood. And sometimes when we needed to learn to take care of ourselves too early, or even in my case, I was learning to take care of my mother at a young age. And I'm grateful for that experience. It made me who I am. And I had to do a lot of healing around that in order to be the playful, expansive person that I am now. I had to really take some time to channel my little you caregiver back onto herself, and my inner great mother onto my own little you, not just to take care of the children that came through me or to be available to my friends' kids, but in order to heal that part of myself so that she can come out and play freely now.
You know what's really interesting is I'm even as I hear your words, I am really recognizing something very powerful here. First of all, before that realization, my first thoughts were really understanding how you're breaking the cycle or how you've broken the cycle for your own kids. I'll give it a quick example here. My mom, I don't remember my mom hugging me. Man, did I make a point of hugging my kids. So my kids are totally comfortable hugging everybody in their life. There's no qualms. My son hugs his best friend, the guy friends, and those best friends just totally accept it. They lap it up. But as you were speaking, Kara, I just had this huge realization. So this happened in 2000. My son was 9. My son honestly took over running the house and taking care of his sister and taking care of his mom. Until this moment, I did not realize that my son became the caregiver.
Hmm.
So I love that we're having this conversation. That's what's so important about these type of conversations, and having this interaction is because we get to see the next layer of this, and aid in the healing of those layers. So
Hmm.
my son, I've literally watched how he has made a point of being very there for his daughter. She's now 5. My granddaughter's 5, and he is very active parent.
Hmm.
He'll set up his art easel and her art easel, and he's not painting what she's painting, and she's not painting what he's painting. But they sit there and they'll paint. They'll paint for an hour, or they'll build Legos. And he has his Lego set, and then she gets her Legos that you know. Here's the instructions. If you need some help, just ask. And he really helps her to be a strong, independent person, but also is so there to help her along the way. And I love that because I wasn't necessarily able to do that with my own 3-year-old daughter.
Mhm.
So I love seeing how that cycle was broken with my son. And I'm also seeing it in my daughter with her family too. Yeah.
Mm.
I love what Kitty
Welcome
wrote.
to me. That is yes, yes. I love this interpretation. Yes. It is so powerful when you claim that you are the hero of your own story, because we can tell our story from a victim mentality or from an empowering mentality. And this is what Sandra and I are all about, is telling the story from the place of empowerment. How can we take these traumatic experiences? We all have traumatic experiences in our lives. and they can break us and they will make us either way, right? And so what a beautiful opportunity for us as healers to step forward and say, yes, this is my story. This was a very painful experience for me. And when I chose to take the opportunity to heal this wound, it became my greatest gift. And so I feel like we could have this conversation all day. And I really want to share with all of you out there the deeper work that Sandra and I will be doing at the Empowering Extravaganza coming up soon. So, Sandra, I'd love to just turn it over to you to let everyone know what is the Empowering Extravaganza and how can you be a part of it?
I love this because you can see that we've only been talking for, roughly half an hour, just maybe a little bit longer than half an hour. And yet we have uncovered some really amazing layers. We've connected in with our little you. We've connected in with our higher self. We've brought up memories that are both powerful, but also memories that are upsetting. And we've worked our way through them in just that short amount of time. The Empowering Extravaganza on February 7th, 8th, and 9th. And if you're ever watching this replay and it's years down the road, this happens every February. This is I want to say an evergreen type of event. It does, because this is how important this is to work with our little yous and higher selves. So this is an event that will be going on with regards to February's. So it's a 3-day event. You are in person in a Zoom class, so there's no traveling expenses. It's literally wear your pajama bottoms if you want, and come in and just stepping into the energy of this beautiful group of people who are all coming together with a common goal of reuniting with their most intimate guide, the little you, and whatever that looks like. And we do things like the I am open, we do things like the I am love, so that we're always in this beautiful sacred container doing it together. And it's by sharing our experiences, just like Kira and I've been doing here. We talked about the different pieces and I noticed something, so I spoke further about it, which helped somebody else in the audience, right? And this is the type of work we do. We'll also be doing deeper, far deeper processes where we're actually going in and resetting moments or rewriting the energy of a traumatic event. And if you're scared or worried about that, honestly, what your little you will present to you at the Empowering Extravaganza will be what you are ready to work with. And you may think you know what that is right now, but you may be surprised by what your little you actually brings up, because your little you is the one who's in control in that case. And that's what's so important for us to understand, and why it's so important to work with that little you is because the little you is in control of our emotions and everything that's going on with our life as an adult. That's why it's so critical to work with them rather than against them. We're also working with the higher self energy. And I know I don't speak a whole lot about that higher self, but we get to actually understand how the soul and the higher self are working together to help us understand how valuable we are. And
Mm.
that's also a really beautiful piece of this, because then we discover why it's so important to love ourselves the way our higher self wants us to love ourselves, the way our higher self sees us, the way our higher self loves us as well. So it's a 3-day event. And Kira's going to be a part of that too as a guest speaker. It's a very interactive. It's not like this where we're talking at you. You notice we're very interactive as we bring in your comments. We're working with you like this. It's even more intimate working together in the Zoom. And the recordings are yours afterwards as well. I love that. My word this year is possibilities. Yeah, love
Mm.
that. Thank you, Kelly. So that's it
So,
in a nutshell.
well, I am so excited to have the opportunity to co-present with Sandra at this amazing, empowering extravaganza. And I will be bringing through how my work with my little you and higher self has brought through the work that I call spiritual warrior cultivation. And so, if you want to hear more about that, Sandra and I will be doing another video on her pages. And in the meantime, I have a couple of half-price tickets left, so I'm gonna drop that link in the chat here on Facebook and YouTube for all of you. Grab your half-price ticket and join us at the Empowering Extravaganza when you have the opportunity to receive the synergistic gifts of 2 or more spiritual mentors at the same
Mm,
time, and the gifts that come through each of the participants. It is really invaluable. And I'm so excited to see who's going to be called into that Zoom classroom with us and
yeah,
what is going to be shared there, because it is bound to be life-changing.
yeah. Share Kitty's comment there. She's a past participant of this,
Oh,
and
I did pop that up while you were
oh, did you?
talking.
I totally
Yes, I
missed
did.
that.
You were talking, and I popped this up right as you were sharing about the Empowering Extravaganza. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Thank you, Kitty, for your plug there. We definitely appreciate that. Yeah. So,
thank you.
um, if you're here with us live or on the replay, we want you to know how valuable you are and how important it is for you to take the time for you that allows you to be fully embodied, fully empowered, and bringing through your soul mission. And we are here to support you in that in whatever way that you need. So if this energy between us is feeling, if you're feeling the good juiciness that comes through when Sandra and I get together and you want more, please go grab your half-price ticket to Empowering Extravaganza, and or come on over to Sandra's pages, Sandra the Sandini, on Facebook. Is that also your YouTube
Sandra
channel?
Pelley, the Sandini. Yes,
Sandra
Sandra Pelley, the
Pelley the
Sandini.
Sandini. Thank you. Sandra Pelley the Sandini. Come on over at the top of the hour, and we'll be going live again over there. So much love. You deserve all the love and all the blessings. So big hugs to all of you. Mm.
Bye.